Hello and welcome back to Alive with Aadil Mona.
Yes, Aadil.
So are you ready to take the next flight?
Absolutely. I'm prepared. I'm prepared.
Well, I'll tell you some of the things that we have found. There was a gentleman named Rod Moser, who is a pediatric infectious disease consultant for the company that makes Lysol. And he writes that one of the members of his committee was a microbiologist who worked for the company. And he conducted clandestine studies of airplane cleanliness by secretly taking swabs from tray tables, bathrooms, air ducts, etc. on several flights around the US, and the results were very eye-opening since several of those cultures grew out coliform bacteria, which is the bacteria found in our intestinal tract. And he found it on tray tables. He also found streptococcus, staphylococcus, and other disease-carrying organisms around the plane. And it's absolutely true. I cannot imagine that the airlines can have enough time, energy, and even the desire to disinfect every plane every time. Now, not all bacteria is bad, and little bacteria is okay. But when you are traveling and you are exposed to circulating air, because not all the air is fresh, circulating air which is pressurized, you are actually breathing in the stuff from everybody around you. So it's important to do several things. The first thing that I do is I disinfect my seat. I carry a wipe made by Giovanni with peppermint oil. It's a little silver pouch. You can buy it at Whole Foods. And it's a little pricey, which is why I like it. And it's extremely high quality. You open up one wipe, and I take that wipe, and not having any hair on my head, I first wipe the thing behind my head. In fact, if I don't wipe the seat back thing behind my head...
The
headrest, yeah. Some airlines don't even have a headrest anymore. It's just part of the seat.
Yes.
But if I don't wipe it, I get little pimples on the back of my neck.
Yes.
Yeah, so it shows that there is stuff on the back. Everybody else has oil and shampoos and conditioners.
And who knows how long it's been since they wiped it.
Right, exactly. So I use that disinfectant wipe to wipe the back of the headrest. Then I use it to wipe every surface I will come in contact with. So it includes the little knob on the top that calls the attendant. It includes the air flow vent. It includes the light switch. It includes the light itself if it is movable. So anything I'm going to touch during the flight, I disinfect. I pull out my tray table. I disinfect the whole tray table with the same wipe. One wipe takes care of everything. That's why I really like it. It's not a tiny little wipe. It's a substantial wipe. And every surface, the seats, the handrests, everything I will touch. Seatbelt buckles and the seatbelt itself. Yes. Anything that I will touch. And even in front of me, if there is a seat and I'm going to put my stuff in the pouch, I will quickly rub the pouch down with the same wipe. Now on certain airlines like Alaska Airlines, they are very kind and they give you your own DigiPlayer. That means it's a little machine, which is a little computer with all these movies and all this really fun stuff in it. Well, if you get one of those, wipe that down too, because lots of people have touched it.
Lots of little kids.
Lots of little kids. Yes, so wipe that down too. Wipe it down carefully. Again, any surface that you're going to touch, wipe it down. Wipe it down. So that's the first thing I do. The second thing I do is make sure that I have a lot to drink. Because when the body is dehydrated, it is more susceptible to infection. So have a lot to drink. What does a lot mean? A lot means at least 1 8-ounce glass per hour of flight. At least 1 8-ounce glass per hour of flight. And one of the other reasons is that to prevent mold, mildew, to prevent decay in the mechanisms of the plane, what they do is they keep the plane very, very dehydrated.
Yes.
That means very, very dry. Yeah. And that's a very healthy thing, because if it were moist, there'd be much worse problems with
flying
bacteria.
petri dish.
Exactly, yeah. So it's good that it's dry, but it's not good that we are dry.
Yes.
So therefore, have enough to drink. Now, those of you who have not studied with me, please remember that water is not as good a hydrator as something in the water. That means that if you put a squeeze of lemon in the water, the body will absorb it more into the cells than if you drink water alone. So it is better to have something in the water. I personally choose one of our Sunrider products called Fortune Delight because it's high in electrolytes and it has a lot of energy.
Yes,
yeah?
chlorophyll,
What else?
a lot of minerals. There's but the electrolytes that are in there, and it's just extremely hydrating, and it just tastes like tea. And it's actually a safer option than buying us some bottled water before you get on the plane and then asking for that lemon wedge, because that lemon wedge could be just as unhealthy.
But I do buy water. In fact,
Yes.
I have it right here next to me. Those of
Yes.
you who are watching us
Yes.
live, this is the water that I have next to me. I got it at the airport. But on this flight, they gave us our own bottles. So what I do is I carry something to add to the water.
Yes.
And then when I drink it, I feel much, much more alive.
Yes.
Yeah, alive.
Alive.
The other thing is to wash our hands. I would suggest washing your hands before you get on the flight, yes, but definitely after you get off the flight. The first thing I did just now when I got off the plane was to make a beeline to the bathroom, wash my hands and face. I do that immediately. And please avoid using antibacterial soap. So if the soap says antibacterial, do not touch it. Antibacterial soap is mostly activated by triclosan, which kills all bacteria, even the healthy bacteria on your skin. In fact, if you wash an aquarium with it and you put fish back in, the fish will all die. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, and you notice your hands too are very harsh looking after you use that soap, because it strips away everything on your hands, which also strips away your immune system, which is your first layer of defense.
Yes, yeah. And in general, avoid using the bathroom. Now, I only fly first class, thank God, but even there, I try not to use the bathroom on short flights. Being a man, it's a little simpler because you don't come in contact with the seat. But if you're a lady, then it's imperative that you clean the seat or put at least a layer of that paper thingy,
Yes.
seat protectant.
And if they're not available, you might this is a great time to practice strengthening your thigh muscles and just don't sit on the seat.
Yeah, but otherwise you can use tissues. There are always tissues. You can line them up on the seat.
Yes.
And then sit
And
on
I can say from experience that's a little more precarious.
It is,
It's a little smaller container, so
Yeah.
small space. So just try strengthening your thigh muscles there and not sit on the seat. It's a yoga balancing pose.
And another interesting thing is to always wipe the seat down all around and on the inside before you put
Yes.
the protectant, because water actually goes through the tissue
Yes.
when you put it on. So wipe the seat down, 3 surfaces, the top surface, the outer surface, and the inner surface, before you put the protection on it. Otherwise the water will come through. So those are things that you must do. I believe in them very much. And the second thing is, the next thing is not to use the magazines that the last person left behind in the pocket in front of you. Not only are they all wrinkled and icky, but you just don't know what's on them. And so I carry my own reading material.
Yes.
In fact, I prefer not to read much on a flight. I prefer to listen on the flight. So I take my stuff. I listen to a lot of Kevin Trudeau and people like that who are motivational and who spur my mind on to be better. And that's what I listen to. I put on my headphones, which are my own. I don't use the airline's headphones. I never use the airline's headphones. I always use my own headphones. And I have my own iPod player with everything loaded in there. And I put it in and listen to it. And I shut my eyes, I put on my iPad, my eye mask. Because the light at 30,000 feet is very, very harsh. It's very harsh for the eyes.
It is.
So I try not to keep the window open. I try to shut the window and I use an eye mask so I can take that time to relax. When the body is relaxing, Mona,
Mm-hmm.
it actually heals. It can fight
Yes.
stuff. When the body is tense, it doesn't fight stuff.
Yes.
It gets tired.
Yes.
So when I see people, getting onto the flight, first thing they do is turn on the computer and start working. No, no, no. Take this time to relax.
Yes.
How much time do we have in our lives to relax?
And we all need extra rest anyway.
Oh my God.
We
need
are
extra
also
rest.
sleep deprived and rest deprived and downtime deprived.
Exactly.
That's great downtime.
It should be downtime. Go into an airplane and go for downtime.
Yes.
Forget your studies, forget your, job stuff.
Yes.
What do people do in their jobs?
Oh my goodness. Well, I used to travel a
never had
lot for
one.
my medical sales, and it was always use that time on the airplane, so I'd be prepared. So when I got off, I'd rush to my first appointment, and it would just wear me out. By the end of the day, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I've traveled. There was not 1 ounce of my day where I allowed myself to rest and regroup, and so then it was cumulative because the rest of the time when I was wherever I was going to go, I was there for a couple of days, and there was just no time to regroup. And so at the end of the week, it would take me twice as long to recover my energy. So
Exactly.
it's really finding those little pockets of time to rest and regenerate.
What I find is that when I get on a plane and I'm all relaxed and ready, I think, Aadil, this is your chance
Yes.
to relax.
Yes.
So put the seat back in the back position, shut my eyes, take a few deep breaths, and I'm gone.
And those sheep jump over the fence at 30,000 feet too.
And I'm getting Benny's signal. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. This is Aadil Palkhiwala on Live with Aadil. Talk to you soon.